Welcome to this one video. Do you realize this? They are dying. They are already almost. But if you see, there are like new plants coming in. So today is what? Today is 15th of April 2022, and the new batch of not the flowers, new batch of ZZ plants that I call the Pamela of the house. They are coming. Thank you so much for joining in this one video. We are going to talk about 5-step automation workflow for warm audience. Now, I did a session. I did like 10-minute video where yesterday on cold audience. Now, this is something I'm going to create as a series where it's all going to be about email marketing. How do you have to structure them? I did more than like I spoke about how do you nurture your audience, how do you what to send them on the priority basis. Now this is just going to be the step-by-step process on what has to be done. Again, it's not on the lines of demonstration, but then when you know these steps, when you have content ready with you, this is going to be super duper helpful because it's coming through my experience of things what's not supposed to be done and what's supposed to be done. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in this video. It's going to be a short video. Step number 1 is the moment. Now, warm audience is someone in this one particular video, in this one particular context. Warm audience is someone who has attended your webinar, who has attended your session, but did not plan to buy. Probably they did not even sat all the way till the end where you made the pitch. Let's assume they did not sat until you made this. Like they were so busy with their own life. They came, they attended, they were there for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and something came up in their life and they just had to leave your session. So they did not see what your community is, they did not see what you're going to sell, but then they interacted with you, the way you speak, what you're going to talk about. So they were there for like, let's say 30 minutes of the webinar that you were doing and workshop you were doing. Let's put them in this, let's put that type of audience in the category of warm audience. So when that happens, when you get the analytics from Zoom, step number one is you immediately load them in a Google Sheet. Create a new row like name, email ID, phone number. So you get the analytics from Google on Zoom's, like you can download it and you can push it in ConvertKit. Step number 1 is you create a row in it's like, okay, these people were there, but then they left midway and they couldn't continue it for whatever reason. Step number 1, you create them you create a worksheet in the Google Sheet where you add them like €1. Once that happens, immediately, now this all automations happen that the way I do that, the way my mentor taught me, and what he does is Zapier. It all happens the moment you load them in the Google Sheet. Step number 2 comes into picture is you put them in a ConvertKit account and add them to a sequence name. You name the sequence as in warm audience. It was cold before, now it is warm. The cold is way different than warm. Warm is way different than hot. Now warm is someone. Now talking about warm audience, warm sequence. You know what goes in warm sequence? I've done a session on this one before. You can find the video here and there. But just to give a nutshell of it, warm sequence is someone who has seen, like say, who has not been for all 3 secrets that you're going to share, but they have seen what you're about to share. So they probably know what the secret 1, the secret 2, the secret 3 is, but they haven't sat all across for the 45 minutes to know exactly what you're talking about, but they know, okay, this is what you're going to say. I was busy, I just left. Now what do you do with this audience? In that sequence, you keep on giving the bits and pieces on what you have already shared in the webinar, because since they have missed it, now you share them what they have missed and adding more value to them in that priority based manner, because they already know you. You just need to, they already know what you're going to teach them. They already know, but they don't know in depth of it. So pick those pieces from the depth and just keep on adding to the sequence. Step number 2. Step number 3. This is not step number 3. This is step number 3 is you put them in a Zoom registration list back again. You load them back again, and when this happens, Zoom registration list is for your next webinar when you're going to do, because they have missed it. Now you load them in the next webinar. Step number, this is like 4 steps. Step number 4 is now you add them to a sequence system. They are loaded in the next upcoming sessions list. They are going to ultimately get the reminders that you've set for them. Okay. Step number 1, load them in the Google Sheet, in a worksheet. Step number 2, ConvertKit sequence warm audience. Step number 3, warm Zoom register. You send them, you keep them, push this, whoever have not been, whoever left in between, you put them, you load them in a sheet, and for the next webinar that we're going to do, because now you need to tell them and get them to the point and you make them sit again. Step number 4 is, once you do that, the webinar reminders will start flowing in again, and the email reminders that you said that this is different than the sequence of warm audience. Now, warm audience, the sequence that you're going to send them in the Convert Kit, that is going to add value to them, and it's like follower, bridge, logical, whatever that is going to happen from one side of it. But from Zoom side of it, you're going to set reminders, and whenever the next session that you're planning to do, the reminders what you've already set in automation, they're going to get those automations, those emails back to back until they attend. And once that happens and it's still not attend, you load them back again, the loop starts, it keeps on continuing. That brings us to the conclusion of this one video, 6 minutes. Thank you so much for making this one video. And this video's name is going to be 4 steps. Thank you so much for making this video video a part of your day. I am going to see you in another exciting video.